So
Hey,
welcome once again, Sharon.
thank you. I am honored, honestly.
We are honored. We are honored to finally get you in the hot seat and learn all. You've been joining us for so long now at these sessions, and yeah, I cannot wait for this chat.
Hey, cool. They're my all-time fave.
So we all know you as Sharon. Your husband calls you Ellie because your name,
Ellie.
middle name's Elizabeth.
Yes.
And then let's move to your kids. What do your kids call you?
Yeah. So my kids call me Shen, short for Sharon. There's a story behind that, but I'm not going to tell it because I could talk to you guys for hours and hours and be delighted. And then my grandbabies call me Mimi. And then Prit had asked me of what was it, Prit? You wanted to know what was one funny thing about me. And the first thing that popped in my head, I thought, okay, well, let me think of something business related. But the first thing that popped into my head was my firstborn grandchild, Charlotte Grace. We were like this and still are. Gosh, I love her to death. She at age 2, 18 months, age 2, started calling me Apple. And I'm like, I like apples. And then I thought, you know what? As long as she calls me, I don't care what she calls me. Just call me. And she called me Apple for till she was about 4. So I think that's kind of fun. You might not think that's funny, but I
No,
I think it's hilarious.
I'm laughing. I just didn't want to interrupt your flow, but I think that's so. So basically, it means we can all call you whatever the heck we want from now on. We just invent
As
our own
long as you call me. Yeah.
something, right? Okay. It's so let's get creative, people. Um, so you are a custom stationery designer, um, and for Pressed. Pressed is the name of your company.
Yes.
I love that one word, and you're specializing in handmade paper and print, uh,
Yes.
and based in I really hope I say this right, Chattanooga,
Hmm.
Tennessee.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Yep.
Cool. So your time
You
is
live on the mountain, Signal Mountain, but it's on the bottom of the mountain is Chattanooga.
okay. Cool. Never been there, but yeah, I would love to come visit you someday.
Please do. All of y'all come visit me.
All y'all. Yeah, you just Sharon was just
I
telling
did
me.
it.
Yeah. And yeah, like what surprised me, Sharon, is learning that you've you've only been in the industry since 2016. So less
Yes.
than 10 years. And that
Mhm.
surprises me personally because I've not known you for that long, really. But I can already tell that you've got raving fans. You've got a huge following, like, 35,000 followers on Instagram, like a 40K email or newsletter
You.
list. You've worked with celebrities. Like, I just see like huge success.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I,
Yes.
I appreciate those kind words. Yeah, the new Superman movie just came out. I don't know if y'all have seen that, but my grandbabies love the superheroes. And James Gunn, of course, is the famous director of it. He's like a wild man. It's awesome. I did his wedding invitations. And so when it popped up, I'm like, oh, I know him. Not really, but so yeah, but honestly, print, and I don't, you probably won't even, yeah, you'll see it on my Instagram about James Gunn way down if you scroll down, but I don't really put extra attention to celebrities because in my heart, everybody's a celebrity on their special day. So, but it's kind of cool, it's kind of cool to work with those people and
Yeah.
dream about who held my invitations in the hand. Could it be Glenn Close? Oh, how cool is that?
I really like the way you put it. Like, yeah, everyone's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Too right, too right. And yeah, so as I said, I feel like you've got this huge level of success, and I would really love to, or we would all love to know your story, like how you got there. Um,
Okay.
so can you tell us where it all started for you? How did you get into becoming a stationery designer?
Okay, yeah. And just to let you know, I am an open book. You ask me something, I'm going to answer it. It doesn't matter who asked me. I don't care because I love to share and I'm all about education. So, and Danielle, I do have paper coming to you. Okay, yeah. So, it truly was a passion project for me. I was a nurse for 34 years, and I went into nursing because I wanted to care for people, 34 years, that's a long time ago. I wanted to care for people and really wanted to make a difference. I wanted to be that kind of nurse that holds the hand of someone who's in a really bad time, that kind of thing. So my heart was in nursing when the medical field started to get a little bit shaky, I moved up, I became an administrator, and each time I took another job on moving up, I always thought, why do I want to do this? I love what I'm doing, but why would I want to become an administrator? And I thought, well, because maybe I can make a difference with the doctors. I love doctors. My dad was a doctor, okay? But they kind of had that thing where, we know and you do. We know we're the smart ones, you do. So I wanted to make a difference with try to change the status quo of that. Of course, one person can't do that, but that I became an administrator. But then when the medical field turned around drastically with insurance and all that stuff, it no longer made me happy. It no longer brought joy to my heart. It was always about making more money and not kind of not taking patients are taken care of well, don't get me wrong, but that love for the patient was kind of missing. And so I thought, it's time for me to retire from nursing. So I did. I had no idea what I was going to do, none whatsoever. This passion project came along and it lit a fire in my heart. It renewed me, and it was like, oh, okay, this is awesome. So, what happened was my son and my daughter-in-law were getting married. I all my life I was a creative. I for the 2 years before 2016, I was designing stationery and doing calligraphy, and I loved that. It was more like I'm gonna do this while I'm watching a cool movie with my husband. But when Audrey, my daughter-in-law, said, I want you to design our wedding stationery. And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, cool. Yay. Family is everything to me. So I said, okay, let's talk about what you want. Well, she wanted handmade paper. And I'll be honest with you, I knew nothing about handmade paper. She wanted handmade paper in a wine Merlot color. I'm like, okay, I'm on it. I got you. We're doing this. So I looked for it. I bought some. I showed it to Audrey, and she was like, oh, this is perfect. This is it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go back and I'm going to order some more, and then we're going to start designing. Well, I went back, and the person who I bought it from said, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't recreate the colors. I just do them as experiments and I sell what I have. I don't even know how to recreate that. And I'm like, what the heck? What? I'm like, where am I going to get this paper from? So that's where it all began. My intention was not the next chapter, I'm going to sell handmade paper. It truly came from my heart, trying to find what I could possibly do to make this happen for my son and his wife. So I talked to stationers. I had lots of stationer friends, and they said, oh, yeah, you're not going to be able to do that. you can find white or ivory in abundance, but you're never going to find colors. I'm like, okay. So I told Audrey, she said, oh, I really wanted that. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to try and make it. And she said, oh, you don't have to do that. And I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I did. I made it. It was gorgeous. I finished their suite and posted it on my Instagram. And at the time, I had, stationers who followed me and family and friends, the handful of family and friends that follow you, get you to 50. Um, and and it's like everybody, they were like, where did you get that paper? How did you do? I said, well, I made it and I had so much fun and blah, 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 blah. From that day on, there was I realized that there was a gap in the industry for stationers. And I thought, I want to change the status quo. You don't have to use white. You don't have to use off-white. You can if you want, it's gorgeous, but you don't have to. And it became more of an inspiration for me rather than I think I'll make handmade paper for the rest of my life. So it became a mission, and to this day I offer 40 colors and I'll do custom colors for anybody. I'll match and blah blah blah. But that's how it all started, you guys. It was so amazing. It was, I can't even describe it. But I want to tell you that Kristen mentioned this in her wonderful interview. I, as a nurse, read the book Starts with Why by Simon Sinek. And when Kristen told me that, my heart was filled with joy. I'm like, oh, that's my favorite book ever. So I highly recommend that book. I'm sure many of you have read it. But my whole, even before I knew it, was I did things like that book. Even in my nursing career, it was like, okay, I'm doing this. My why was because I wanted to make a difference in, you know, ill people's lives. Um, and this, my press paper plus print, is because I wanted to inspire people, give them another option because color is so beautiful. It evokes all kinds of emotions. Um, and I wanted to offer that as an inspiration that you don't have to use just white or off-white. That's how it started.
You're evoking motions in me just just listening to the
Oh,
story. Wow, that is incredible. And as you said at the start of the call, like the best things in life happen naturally, and like that's just got natural all over it. Like you hadn't planned that. It's just I love this phrase you use in your website as well about like pressing on, like just
yeah,
press, which is so
yeah,
like not only does it sound cool because it fits with your brand, but like there's a message there, isn't there?
yeah. I'm very passionate about what I do. It's like, and that's one of the things I tell my kids. It's like, you can be anything, but don't base it on a commodity. Don't base it on, I want to make a lot of money. Base it on something that you're passionate about and that you love and you want to make a difference. And everything else will fall into place. If you exude the passion and the emotion and love what you do, you're going to send that message out and people are going to follow. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So press on.
Well said. As they are, people are following you and they're loving what you're doing. And can you tell us a bit more about who are your main clients? Who is it that you actually serve? Because it's not just people getting married, is it? You have like
Oh, yeah.
businesses.
Yeah, that's a great question. So what I found was I had a lot of clients in Australia that were wanting my paper and printing. And the shipping was so expensive. It was I know this sounds crazy, but it was so expensive. So when a retailer reached out to me from Australia, they said, we have this lovely shop and our clients love your paper. Would you be interested in serving us with as a stockist? And I'm like, oh, I never thought of that. I just, and I'm like, okay. So I thought, with the expensive shipping and all that, and then having to resell, I'm going to have to cut my pricing down and wholesale it. Well, let me just tell you that growth happened after that. It's like, it's never really been about price. I know that sounds so weird. How do you build a business without pricing? I price on value, the need, and the desire to use my paper. And so we've been, this stockist in Australia, I've been serving them. And so all those couples and designers that want to use my paper now can purchase through them at a lower cost for me. So I do that. And then it struck an idea in me, I want to help designers as well. It's handmade paper is considered a luxury um, paper choice to choose, and it comes with a price. At least mine does. It comes with a price because of what goes into it. And so I started a wholesale club, the pressed wholesale club, just for designers. But they had to have, a real um, license. They had to be legit, is what I'm trying to say. And, I only take, back in the day, oh, that sounds awful. I hate when older people say back in the day. But back in the day, when I was so crazy busy, um, I could barely keep up with it because I had to limit the number of members for people because I couldn't keep up with it. Plus my custom designs, plus, working, printing for other people. So when I added that in, that I had to put a limit to it. So I only take 50 a year. But what I wanted to do is it was a membership. They had to pay an upfront membership because I wanted them to feel the value of the service that I was offering. And the more you used it, you'll get more value, right? And the first job that I did for them would cover the membership and more, so it wasn't like an exorbitant amount. But so that grew my business. And I work with designers as well. They do the designs, they share the story, and then I make it come to life on my paper and printing. So I've met so many cool people. I've had the honor of working with couples and designers and event planners and all photographers. I started getting, hey, can you send can we collaborate and we do you send me stationery for a photo shoot. And I thought, I didn't even know that even existed, to be honest. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that. And they said, we'll send you the gallery of photos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. And so, it's just like one thing led to the next. And then before you know it, I went from those 50 followers. And Danielle, I want to say again, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, it's the meaningful followers. So the followers that I started getting, they just kept coming back, working, and it was so cool. It was just joyful. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I
It
think
was crazy.
you need to teach us a masterclass here, Sharon, like how to attract crazy success.
Oh, I'm happy to talk to anybody, honestly. Yeah.
The fact that you were like attracting clients from Australia from pretty
Oh,
much
yeah.
it's incredible.
It's been worldwide. Russia, Japan, Indonesia. I sent stationery. Oh, I have this map. Oh, I should have brought it up here. That would have been fun. But I have this map that my daughter-in-law got me. And you do the push pins, where it's peppered. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, I'm all that and more. I'm saying that because it's just so joyful. It's like, oh, look, I serve someone here and I serve someone here. And, you know,
So tell us, Sharon, what is your secret?
my
Like,
secret,
yeah.
um, gosh, my secret is, I'll tell you, the biggest thing that got in my way, I'm so sorry, my leg is falling asleep. Um, the biggest thing that got in my way was myself. I think I told you this before. It's like, oh gosh, you look on Instagram and they're all so young and beautiful and all that. And here I am. When I started, I was 55. And it's like here I am, old. I'm not old. I'm not old, you guys. I am so young at heart. But I that was a wall I had to break down. And I thought, you know what? If I was that frustrated to learn how to make this damn paper, someone else must have been frustrated too at some point. And it's like, it's not about appearance, it's about your purpose and why you do what you do. And I was, my mission was to inspire and give more options. And it just happened, it worked. It's crazy. So there's really no secret. It's just um remaining consistent in your message, why you do what you do, and people will connect with you on an emotional level rather than a commodity level. And I've read this book that I told you about several times because sometimes I have to be reminded, like, for example, when Black Friday comes along, it's like, oh my God, it's Black Friday. I hate Black Friday. You get all these promotions, all these sales, and you know, it's just like overwhelming, right? Well, I thought I am never ever doing a Black Friday sale. Never, because it makes me feel like poop. I don't like to see all those promotions. And I truly believe that if you treat your product or service like a commodity and you put a sale price on it, it devalues your product. And so how do you keep up with that? You have to keep doing sales to get people to come back. And now I have to do it for almost free. It's like, no, I connect with people that have an emotion, that want to buy my paper or my printing because we're making a connection. I want to make their baby's birth, their wedding day, their guest feel something. I want them to have a tactile experience, a visual experience, and an experience that tells the story of that special person or couple. So I don't do sales. I do a raffle, and what I do is, and I don't sell seconds. Like you'll see a lot of people, handmade paper makers that will put, oh, I'm selling these seconds. Well, why would you want to buy a second? There's something wrong with it. I don't do that. What I do with my extra paper is I put it in a box at the end of the day, when that Black Friday comes around. Well, there's the Tuesday, which Hallmark or whoever came up with it says Giving Back Tuesday. I do a raffle for that, $5 a ticket. You're getting beautiful handmade paper, and I choose a winner. They get the paper, but all the money I get goes to St. Jude's,
Mm, wow.
you know. So my messaging is always about coming from the heart,
Mm,
the feeling. It's not about, please buy my paper because I want to make a lot of money. I will say I have made a lot of money. I have, but it's not been because, I have had several six-figure and above. I've made more than I did when I was a nurse.
yeah.
It's just like, but it's not because I'm driven by the money. You know what I mean?
So good. This is one of the reasons why I was so excited to speak to you today, Sharon, because you feel like one of these real rare gems. You're really like hugely successful, but at the same time so humble and so like but it's because you are connected to that why, as you said. You're in it for the
Yeah.
club, you're in it for the joy, for the tactile feel and all. It's never been about the money, and I think that is such a lesson for all of us there. So
Yeah, that's why, that book and Kristen, honestly, when you said that, I'm like, oh, she's my girl. She is my girl. And you have to read it. You have to, and it's like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense. Apple, he gives examples in there that are just so relatable. Apple, you know, he he started, not in a big, he didn't go out make thinking, oh, I'm going to make the best computer with all the gadgets and blah, 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 blah. No, he wanted to change the status quo. What he said was he wanted to be able to put that into the hands of everyone. So everyone could have a chance of not just corporate, but I wanted to inspire people to use. And you know what? Everything he's put out after that, there's such a loyalty and a trust because of his why that people just buy it. Oh, okay, and the new, I'm on 13 iPhone, but the new 14 came out. Okay, I'm gonna go wait in line for it. Oh, the 15. Okay, I'm gonna wait in line because they trust and they have loyalty. Now, other phones, Samsung, Galaxy, they have all that good stuff too. It's not the technology, but it's why he did it. It's not Oh, it's not a tangible thing. It's an emotion,
yeah, absolutely.
a higher purpose.
Thank you. Like I could talk to you all day, but we've got about 5 minutes left on the call, and
Oh, oh
I would
gosh, I'm so sorry.
no, no, don't be sorry. This has been
Oh,
amazing. I would love to open it up to the rest now to share their comments or ask any questions they may have on their minds. So, um, does anyone have anything to share with Sharon?
I do. Not a question, just overwhelmed with gratitude to know you, to have you in our circle. You are such a radiant light. And I wish I could just come over to your house and have coffee. I'm
and
so
hug.
far away, but I just want to hug you. I'm just so thankful that you are who you are and that you inspire so many people and that you're so dedicated to that why and that you're willing to do it in whatever way, whether it's nursing or making paper, you just inspire people. And so thank you for letting us share, letting us in your space and your world and inspiring us.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you so much. Fills my
Mhm. Also, the whole time I didn't see, I actually don't even know what your shirt fully says, but I just
heart.
kept seeing like world's best the whole time. And I was like, yeah, she's the world's best. It's so cute. But yeah, I just said like world's best most of the time. And
Oh,
like you're the world's best. Okay.
oh, I love you.
Paola.
No, I'm just here at all. because every single time I see Shannon, every time she steps up in to talk like about or to ask questions or to say anything about others' interview, she's always so cheering for everybody and so humbled. You will never imagine everything that she just told us. I am just like my jaw dropped to the floor, like, oh my God. And then she just goes like, oh yes, I'm just love it. She's so Shannon, so much admiration for you. Wow. I'm just like, my question will be, what will be your advice for somebody that is starting the business late? You say that you started when you were 50, right?
55.
Okay, so um what will be your advice for somebody that thinks that they are starting late? Let's say like or like later.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what I would say is don't think about your age or your appearance. Don't let that get in your way because it did for me. Start with, so you have the product, photography, and then you have the how you're going to run your business, and then you have the why. And most people start with the what. And this is all in that book. You must read this book. They start with the what. Okay, I want to take pictures of people. Like, okay, then I'm going to figure out how and where and, how I'm going to do it. And then they think about why. I want you to reverse that and think, why do I want to do this? And that is the hardest thing to figure out. Your experiences from the past are just building blocks to the next thing you do, like nursing. Same thing, the why, the quality improvement, performance improvement. I brought it into my paper making business. But I wanted to tell you that our brains are built with this neocortical area, which is the outside, which is where we can speak the language, the more tactile things. The why part is which would be the what. The why part is the limbic system of your brain. And that's where emotion comes from. That's where the feelings come from. But the limbic system doesn't allow you to express in language that. So you have to, I know I'm getting kind of nursey and deep here, but you have to find the why in the limbic system and figure out how to translate that to others. So, for example, my why, I had that, oh, I'm going to make handmade paper because blah, 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 blah. And if someone were to ask me, why do you make handmade paper? I wouldn't say because it's beautiful, because it feels good, because it's a canvas, to print on. Those are what's. So if I translate my why to my paper, it's more, I wanted to change the status quo, the thinking of the industry that there's only white and ivory paper out there. I wanted to change the way people think. I wanted to create an emotion. I wanted to create emotion that says, oh, I love colored handmade paper. I want to express my special day through green or yellow or, those are my favorite colors. So I wanted to inspire people. See how that inspiration is not a what, it's not a tangible. You can't hold it. So that's the hard part. But once you figure that out, Paula, all your messaging should be around that. Okay? Because you want to create an emotion in someone else. People don't buy because it's cheap. Well, some people do. If you want to get loyal followers and people who want to keep coming back to you, you want to touch their emotions. People buy from emotions. You hear people say, I just have a gut feeling about it. It just feels right. It feels good. It feels like there's integrity there. It feels like this person is not going to let me down because she's so passionate about what she does, right? Does that create an emotion in you? Does it say, oh, yeah, that's who I want to work with? It may be more expensive, but it makes me feel good. It makes me feel trust and love and all that good stuff. So people buy with emotion. And to build trust and loyalty, you have to build that sense of love and emotion and why, your why, and they keep coming back. And then what they do then is they share, they tell someone else, I had the best experience. I mean, this lady treats me like I'm her daughter. And that's kind of what I do. It's like all the couples that I speak with, when we're having our conversation on the phone, I'm like, okay, you've just joined the biggest loving family ever because I'm going to do for you what I would do for my own daughter or son or couple or anyone. And I don't filter. You said, oh, well, what's your favorite client? My favorite client is one who gets it, who gets the
Mhm.
creative freedom, who trusts me to make the best product for them to share their story. And so if your messaging is all about your why and it's not about money or sales or like you you look at the industry and you say, okay, well, they're charging this or they're charging that. And if I charge lower, I'm going to get, you know, that's not how it works. It works for a little bit of time. But if you want to continue, you have to gain loyalty and trust and love, that feeling. So there's not just it's a little bit of work, Paula, but I would dig deep inside. You have a reason why you wanted to become a beautiful photographer. It's not just to give photos to people. There's a deeper reason. There's something in your limbic system that said, I want to do this. So I wish I could just say,
I love
okay,
that.
I wish I could just say 1, 2, 3, magic. No, it doesn't happen that way. You have to I'm truly passionate about what I do. And people say to me, what are you, as you get older, how are you going to do this? And I just say, I'm going to do it for as long as I love it, as long as this body will allow me to do it. And then what happens after that? Well, one of the questions I know we didn't get to because I'm a yapper, but one of the questions Prit had asked me, which really I really put a lot of thought into it, was what's your vision? Where are you now? What's your vision? Um, but honestly, I feel like I've already lived my vision. And now what I'm doing is I'm in a different chapter of my business. We moved here because I told you family is everything to me, and I would do anything for them. We moved here because I wanted to spend more time with them, especially those wonderful grandbabies. And so I chose to cut back. And I love the questions, Ajna, that you're putting on there, how do you, the burnout and all that good stuff. And, you know, you have to look and prioritize your life. I could continue on this, doing every day, but I choose not to. I choose that I'm going to do a handful of really custom sweets. I choose that I'm going to spend more time with my grandbabies because that's my priority. Now, everybody can't do that. Younger people, people have to make money. You have to pay the bills, but you have to prioritize in the different chapters of your life. And people will say to me, "Why aren't you doing more?" And it's like, I am doing more. I'm doing more with my grandbabies. I'm doing more with my kids. I'm blah, blah, and I'm still really happy. I love it. But I will still make paper and print until my body won't let me because it's a true labor of love. It's hard work and not everybody could do it, but it's very cathartic and meditative to me. Pulling those sheets, I've got to invite you guys into my studio and just watch and play with me. Or better yet, come visit me and we will splash around that water together. But just pulling that paper one at a time, slowing down, intentional, just everything I do in the studio is a slower pace and very intentional. So it's a really wonderful way that I meditate. It clears my head, it's soothing, it's slow, and I honestly think it keeps me a healthier person. I clear my mind and I think about other things. You know, it's it's magical. That's all I can say. It's just magical.
Did that answer your question, Paola? It's got a huge smile on her face.
And more, that and more. Thank you so much,
You know
Anna.
what, Paula? You can always DM me and we could talk on WhatsApp or whatever. And if you have a specific question or you need help figuring out that why, we can dig deep together.
Well, you
I
know what? Actually, Christine and Prit recommend me the book, and I
oh,
got it. And I was gonna start reading it in the last plane that I got, but I just fall asleep. But I am in the process of start reading the book. That's my next task, and I kind of think I know my why. It's just hard to put it into words.
exactly.
It's just like a feeling. It's just hard saying it and putting it out loud, and make like transmitting it to others, like
Yes.
like letting it out. I think that's the hard part. I think I feel it, it's because
Hmm.
this is strong, but it's hard to put it into words. So I hope the book helps me a little bit with that, but I'm on the path. But I will love to talk to you about it because I do believe sometimes you find your why later in life, and everybody thinks like, oh, whatever you haven't done, you're especially in this industry, wedding photographers that are 20 and they have 10 years of experience, and you're like, what? So yeah, it's a process. So your story, it's inspiring, not only for the wedding industry, but like for people in general. Follow your passion no matter at what age. And honestly, 55 is super young, and then you still have built like an amazing thing, and you have so many more years of like sharing that. And maybe, I don't know, in 10 more years you find another passion, and then you build another successful business at whatever age, so very inspiring. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Paola, for the question and all that unleashed in Sharon. So this, which we really, really love and appreciate. Does anyone else have anything? Kristin's gonna book her flights to Chattanooga already, so it's working. The magic's working. Does anyone else have anything to throw in for Sharon? Ajna.
Yeah, I do.
Sharon.
You are an absolute gem, Sharon. That is clear. We all know that. We all see that. But you, people like you, are the reason that I started ConnectWed because it you're unique as Sharon, but the fact that you're so passionate and generous and wonderful and giving, it's not it is and it isn't unique in this industry. Do you know what I mean? There are so many people who are so passionate and so giving and so wonderful, just like you. But what they don't necessarily have that you have is that resilience and that ability to, like, keep their heads above like the muck that sometimes sucks us down in the industry. And so, like, I started ConnectWed because I wanted to, like, clear the way so that everyone could see all those wonderful people. And I've seen so many people that are passionate and generous and wonderful like you get just sucked down into the mire of it all and leave the industry because they can't handle the hard parts of it. So, like, you are so unique and so wonderful, but like, what I want people to see of you is like how resilient and how, fuck all this, all this
Yeah,
gunk. You know what I mean? Does that make
yeah,
sense? I hope that
yeah.
that doesn't
I
make.
totally understand that, and I don't think it's hmm, I don't. I understand what you're saying. It in my situation, it's not going to be. Everyone's not going to be like me, because I'm definitely unique in many ways. But um, I don't feel like I've ever had to feel resilient.
Mm,
I don't. I don't. I think that what I do is, and I tell this to my kids all the time too, is I surround myself with the people that I want to be around, that I want to get joy from, that are inspired by me and that inspire me. And then I do not pay attention to all the crap out there. I don't give energy to it. I just refuse to do it. My life is way too short. And one of the reasons, the big reason I joined ConnectWed, I was invited by Amy Mulder. Love, love, love that lady. She's talented, but she is kind, and her son, I love her son. And it's like, you know what? If Amy is part of this group, it must be a fabulous group. And what I have found is that this community is filled with fabulous people. And that's who I want to be a part of, right? Even if it's small, I don't care. I don't care if it's just a small spot in the huge world of the wedding industry. They make me happy. They educate me. They show me beautiful, inspiring photos. We have conversations on the phone. So, what I'm trying to say is that you can think that way, but thinking that way, how am I going to be resilient in this, is actually a downer in my mind.
mm,
Instead, I choose, no, I have no room for that. I do this because I love it. I like to inspire people. I like to work with fun, joyful, loving people. I don't do sales because I don't want to attract those kind of people. those people are looking for something less than what I want to offer.
Yep.
I know it sounds weird, but it just has worked. You know what I mean? And I don't even post on Instagram every day because I don't know. I just live it.
You know
I
what,
just
Sharon?
integrity.
So
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt your flow because I love it and I'm just nodding the entire time. I think my question earlier for you, what's your secret? For me, this is your secret. Like the this is what's
Oh,
really rare in humans, and this is what like you're sparking so much in me because the way
oh,
my dream, my why, the reason I want to do what I'm doing with this community is for people like you, is to grow more people like you who really get it, that this is literally how the universe works. This is literally
yeah.
mechanically how life, how the universe works. What you focus on expands, it becomes more. What you talk about, even if it's problems that should be talked about and need to be fixed and solved, it
Yes.
expands. So like exactly what you're describing here is like bang on the essence of what I'm all about and what I would also love to expand further.
Yes, I love that, and that's why we share. I've been sharing more on like I have highlights for Connect Wed, and it's not that I just want to, okay, I'm going to put it out there, but I always show some kind of love with it. It's like, you guys, how can I help you get it? We want to try and change the status quo, right? I think that's what the purpose is about. I think that's the why behind ConnectWed. I didn't develop it, but that's a feeling that I get. We want to go beyond the status quo. And how do we do that? Then we go to the how. And we're doing that, and we go to the what. But I really feel the purpose, and my purpose for being part of this wonderful community, is changing the status quo. It is not okay anymore to only cater to the male female couple. In my world, it's not okay. We need to get the
Yep.
information out. It's not okay to say I only want to deal with certain groups. It's just not kind. It's just not right. And the kind of emotion, when people think like that, it's ugly. Whereas my emotion is joy and love and happy, you know. Um, so that's where I come from as far as Connect Wed. And it's just like, how can we share that why more? It's like, because you're right, there are so many passionate, loving, giving, generous people out there. There are. I met several.
Mm.
How do we get them to get in here so that we can grow and literally change the status quo? It's not an easy task. It's not going to happen overnight. Not one person can do it on their own, you know?
Yep.
But
I do.
how I do it is how I did it in my business is just to remain true to my purpose. And I don't talk about the negative parts of my job. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? There are. You know what? I'll make a bucket of pulp, and I will have one of the things that people like about me is that my color is so consistent for each job. I'll make a bucket that's just shy of the 150 they wanted, and so I have to make another bucket, and it's like not exactly the same color, and that drives me nuts. It never will be the same color from batch to batch. That was one of my quality improvement things. But my point is, now I forgot what my point is. What was I saying? There's my age.
You were
My
saying
point
about
is,
focusing on the positive and not.
yeah, my
Yeah.
point is, I'm not going to share that. Not because I want everything to look fluffy. Well, I may share it. I have shared it because I want people to think it's real. But what I put emphasis on is what I did to make it better and what the final outcome was.
Mhm.
So it may start with, oh God, this is what I did, but this is where my vision is. This is where I'm going. I'm going to make it happen. Just like I showed, look at me, I'm making paper in the bathtub. It's like, what the heck? That wasn't fun for me. The studio lost electricity, but my messaging was, I will do anything for my couples to make it happen,
Mhm.
even if I have to do it in the bathtub, right? So I always try to, I don't know. And that's just, it's so much easier to be positive and kind.
Yep. I totally agree. And it says there right on the tin. I don't know if you came from Amy, I don't know if you even bothered with our website, but like our big goal is to change the wedding industry from the inside out, like 100%. But what I like, I mean, just an aside, what I struggle with a little bit is that, we are an industry that doesn't talk about its problems ever. Do you know what I mean? And so we've got a lot of people who are unhappy with things or are, you know, mired down in things or whatever, and just telling them to be positive, like that leans towards toxic positivity because you're not being positive to paper over something underneath it. Do you know what I mean? You're being positive because that's like really where you are emotionally and what you feel. So it is a tricky balance running a community like this that,
It is.
we've
It,
got
it,
we've
it
got things
definitely
we have
is.
to talk about and deal with, but that's the line that we try to walk, Kristen
It
and I,
definitely is.
with
It's
our
not
with our
easy.
messaging.
It's not easy. It definitely is not easy. I totally get it, what you're saying. It's just that in my business, I just stay consistent. And I think that when you hear the same thing from me, at least, I can't speak for anybody. It's just worked for me in my
Mhm.
business. If I remain true to myself and just stay consistent with my messaging and my purpose, eventually people are going to start believing in me and feeling the emotion. You know, um, I don't know. That's just how I did it. I'm just, that's how I do it.
It's not hard because it's not hard to see how authentic you are. Do you know what I mean? It's not hard for us to
Yeah,
believe you because we can so clearly see that it's rooted in a deep purpose and it's just who you are. Um, yeah, but I'm so happy you're part of this community. We're so lucky to
me
have you.
too. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. And I get what you're saying. I see that part. And whatever I can do to help, I'm happy. And I will think of it as why am I doing this to help connect wed? That's where I'll begin. And I'll do it in a fashion where people will feel something deeper than words,
Mhm.
you know. I'll try my best. And I'm just kind of like built this way. I there are a lot of people that don't like me probably. Oh my gosh, she drives me nuts so bonkers. But you know what? I don't care. I
I I was just going to say, I do think that partly while you were like, a little sensitive about your age when you first started, like part of that's your age. When I hit 40, I ran out of fucks to give. And that's only like every year that goes by, like I just care less and less what other people think of me. So I think part of why you are able to say, I don't care, is because you have this lived experience. Like, you know, you're the shit. You don't need anybody else's validation. And that's a lot harder to know when you're 25 than when you're 63. Is that right? Isn't that what you told me?
I'm 64.
64. You don't look a day over 40, Sharon.
Oh, you made my day, my love. Yeah, I think that I think age has a lot to do with it too. It's, you have this life and the life after, in my opinion. But I think that whenever I've gone into anything, I've gone in full tilt boogie. I really have. It's like, okay, full tilt boogie. For instance, when I was a nurse, um, I ran an orthopedic center, and um, I would get all the complaints, from the doctors and all that. But this one asshole doctor, I won't say his name because that would be mean. But he was a jerk. He was so mean to the nurses, especially the female nurses. Well, he came to me holding this drill. He was orthopedics. And he threw this drill on my desk. I'm like, okay, so that's a drill. What's wrong with it? I can't get the battery. I can't change the battery in it. He was doing a knee replacement. And, I know you guys don't know all about that equipment, but it truly is like 3M drills and stuff like that. And I said, oh my gosh, well, how are you going to finish your surgery? You know? And he said, fix it. And I'm like, okay. So I picked it up. I pushed the button on the side, took the battery out, and put it back in. Zzz, it's working. He's like, how'd you do that? I pushed this button on the side. Well, for a hot second, that put him in his place. It's like, you are not God, okay? We are not bowing down to you. I'm here to help you, and I'll help you figure this out. But please don't treat females like they're idiots or nurses, you know. So, that was a small step for mankind in my little world at the orthopedic ASC surgery. I tell you what, he never talked to me like that again. He just didn't. So, my point of that is to help change. Change is very difficult. It's hard to change the status quo. But the little things, they add up, and hopefully, eventually, it will happen. You know, and if you have that huge heart, just live it and show it. I know it's hard. It's not going to happen overnight. If you believe in something, you stick with it no matter what. And you just show it consistently, and eventually someone's going to say, I want to make a bunch of handmade paper that's color. I don't know, you probably don't follow the handmade paper community or whatever. But after I did that, oh gosh, you would not believe the number of paper makers that started making color, and which was not a competition to me. I felt I inspired them. Yes, we need more of this. You know,
Yep.
I try to think of the positive versus the negative. We need more of this. But it is hard work, and I get it. That's why I'm here.
We're so glad you are. Thank you so much. Such an inspiration for all of us. I just
Thank you.
watch these sessions and I'm like, fuck, our members are cool.
So cool. I know. I'm
They're
so
the
glad
best.
that we have the replays and the YouTube. It's like, oh, I missed that one, but I'm going to watch. It's like, oh, that's so good. Right?
Yes.
Yep,
I love it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you,
Y'all
Sharon.
are the best. Thank
Are
you.
here. Sharon, you know that. I love you. It's
I love you right back.
God, I just love you. It's incredible. You know, when you said that it's like amazing to work with famous people and all, that's how I feel talking to you, being the same group of you, being called as a friend. So thank you very much.
Oh, you are so sweet.
But seriously, I follow you for so long. I think it's since 18 when I start like
Oh,
growing this work, and you were there telling people how work worked, and being so nice and sharing everything you knew. You are sharing, and God, even today, it's so hard. People don't want to share.
no.
You know how it is. It's horrible for people
It's
starting
bad.
looking for
It's
basic
really,
info. It's horrible. And you
yes.
were there sharing,
Well,
and like I am here today because people like you were sharing in 2018. I started after that. So thank you very
oh,
much. It's really like you are my
you are very,
inspiration.
you're very welcome. And that's the thing about competition is there's just, in my life, there's just no room for it.
Mhm.
There are so many people out there, that want stationery, but you could take that with anything. For instance, one of the quotes I think in the book was, if Henry Ford asked someone, what do they want? They would say a faster horse.
Mm.
But he took that, and what did he do? He changed it. So, and so it's not really a competitive world. It's how you think, how you're going to make a change, how you know what it's the whole competition of over community. That was big a couple years ago. Everybody was saying that. Well, I didn't feel like I had to post something. I just felt like I'm going to live it. I'm just going to do it because I truly believe it. You don't have to post. I can't even explain it. It's just how I am. There's tons of people out there who want stationery. If you put your energy into the competition, that's wasted energy. Put it in yourself and your purpose, and there is no competition.
I
You
was
know what I mean?
thinking, I was thinking the exact same thing before you said it. You read
It,
my mind. When you focus on yourself, there literally is no competition.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
like
it's like you have to reverse engineer things. Like the what, the how, the why. Most people start with a what. Okay, I want to sell paper. Okay, well, that's a commodity. But if you reverse engineer it and start with the why, that becomes an emotion. And how do you put your emotion into words is how you're going to do the how and the what. You know what I mean? It's so hard for me to explain. It's just like, I don't know.
You're in a room where everyone gets it, so you don't have to worry
Yeah, it's
about
not hard.
explaining.
Like we can understand.
Get it. It's
Yeah,
all
okay, good. I'm glad. And I'm
Simon's our
glad.
friend as well.
Yeah, his TED Talks, they're all on YouTube. I suggest, um Googling his TED Talks I love listening to him. It's just like, oh yeah, okay, I get that. But they're very fun. I listen to stuff like that when I'm doing my paper. Anyway, I'm
Well,
so sorry to go over so long.
all good.
Okay.
I
I'm glad to
literally could
listen.
chat to you all night, but I feel like we probably have to wrap it up at some point, unfortunately. But like I will just leave it on like building on what Ajna said. I think there's so much more for you to bring to this community, and that this community want to see from you. And I think Ajna hit the nail on the head with education. Like it's just oozing out of you. And we've seen that here today. Without calling this about like making this about education, you're just doing it naturally. It's pouring out of you. So I think let's talk more about that and how we can
Okay.
harness that.
Okay, that sounds like a plan, Stan. This chapter of my life is less of the laborious, but more of the sharing, the educating, and, not even just about the why, but even the type of paper you choose. There's so much that I can share so you can make better decisions, kind of thing.
Absolutely. Well,
But
and
yeah,
that's a way you can keep going long after your your hand
yeah.
joints maybe but don't want to do it all day long anymore.
Exactly, because I would hate for this to my, I won't say legacy, but my business to die. My
Mhm.
kids are very interested and they think a lot like me. And so I'm sure that someone is going to take it over for me. But I think that now, I'm not very old. I'm very, you know, I have hopefully many years to continue what I'm doing, but I would like to do some emphasis on education and joy and love and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
absolutely. Well,
yes.
we're here to support you in that, whatever that looks like.
And I look forward to our next culprit. And Danielle, I will be sending you paper.
Don't worry.
I'm not worried. I do like follow through. And I haven't found the scripts. I don't know if it's on
Hi.
an old
It's
computer, but
I understand you're busy also, so it's like
oh,
okay.
I hate that word.
But it's happened. Like sometimes we are. If it's not professional, it's life happening. So we're
Yeah,
always
it's
busy in
more
here.
light, but that's a whole nother discussion. The word busy, it's one of my least favorite words.
Hmm.
Yes. Oh, I have so many ideas for you, Sharon, but
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Let's
please, let's make
talk.
a space for Sharon. Like weekly, she just go there and talk what's in her mind. But
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay,
be
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I want to hear your ideas and I'm all in.
yes.
All in.
Okay,
Okay.
let's capture the joy. Daniela's right. We forgot the screenshot thing. So
Oh,
I'll be doing the love and the joy. Let's do that in three, two, one. Yes. Thank
okay, cool. I love you all. I truly
You.
do. And whatever I can do to help connect WED, I truly believe in it and I want to.
Thank you. Appreciate
Oh, I
that.
love you, Sharon.
you.
Bye.
Talk to
Bye
you
bye,
soon, my
everybody. See you
friends.
Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.